about it. Good morning, I'm Courtney Layden.
Good morning, I'm Amber Miller, live at the Dauphin County Courthouse where a pre-trial hearing is set for two former Penn State officials.
Good morning. Getting reports of a major accident on 1115 around Duncannon. We'll give you the update at the next report. Good morning, I'm Chris Garrett.
And satellites all clear. That means lots of sunshine for today. We'll see how long that's going to last in the forecast coming up.
Plus, a man is in custody after making dozens of bomb threats against the University of Pittsburgh earlier this year. Find out where they found him. I'm Kirsten Matthew, and Fox 43 Morning News starts right now.
And now, your local news in high definition. This is Fox 43 Morning News.
Hey there, 7 a.m. on your Thursday.
Yeah, and what a beautiful Thursday it's going to end up being. Thank goodness.
Gorgeous, yes. It is what I call sunny on City Island out there.
I love it.
Look at this shot. It is gorgeous. Nice blue skies. You have a little light fog off in the distance. Otherwise, we're looking good. We're at 64 degrees in Harrisburg as well as Lancaster, 66 in Lebanon. A little bit cooler off in Newport at 57 degrees. Chambersburg, you're at 63. For the kids heading to the bus stop right now, light jacket wouldn't be a bad idea. It is a cool start out there. Average temperature about 62 degrees with lots of sunshine. And then this afternoon, mostly sunny skies and 85 degrees. Definitely play outside. Looking for a high of 86 for today, 86 for tomorrow as well, with increasing clouds and the 50% chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms going into the evening. Could even linger into early morning hours on Saturday and partly cloudy skies. But look at the difference in temperatures, only getting up to a high of 78 degrees on Saturday. We'll talk more about that in the forecast in about 10 minutes.
The fallout surrounding Jerry Sandusky's years of sex abuse continues today as attorneys for two top Penn State officials head to court.
And of course, former Penn State Athletic Director Tim Curley, as well as Penn State's former Vice President Gary Schultz. They're both facing perjury charges as well as failing to report child abuse. This morning, Fox 43's Amber Miller is joining us live from Dauphin County, where they are expected to show up at the courthouse. Not them, actually, their attorneys. Right, Amber?
That's right, Courtney, and the hearing is scheduled to begin in a little less than 2 hours now, and it is the very first time that these gentlemen, they're not expected to be here today, I'm sorry, but it's the first time that they have a hearing since the all-important Free report was released. Now, that report, which was commissioned by Penn State's Board of Trustees, examined how much high-ranking officials really knew about the allegations against Sandusky. In the report, former federal judge and FBI Director Louis Freeh claimed 4 people, including Schultz and Curley, as well as former President Graham Spanier and Joe Paterno, intentionally hid the sex abuse allegations to protect the school's reputation. Curley and Schultz were both interviewed during the grand jury investigation against Sandusky, and now both men could face jail time for allegedly lying under oath and failing to report child sex abuse. Now, we have been informed, as I said a little earlier, by the Dauphin County Courthouse that neither of the two men is expected to be at today's hearing. They are not legally obligated to be here, but we are hoping to get the exact date for the trial to begin. That has not been released as of yet, but we're hoping to get that information today. And as we all know, this all began with Jerry Sandusky and the huge scandal surrounding him. He was convicted back in June, as we know, convicted on 45 counts of abusing 10 boys over a 15-year period. Live in Harrisburg, Amber Miller, Fox 43 Morning News.
Now, Amber, if these two men are convicted, how much jail time could they face?
Well, with a perjury charge, it could be as little as probation or as much as 2 years. However, I have been told that because Sandusky molested these boys after 2001, there could be more time added to that particular sentence. All
right, Amber Miller reporting live in Dauphin County. Thank you, Amber. All right, so how much did the 2-week Jerry Sandusky child sex abuse trial really cost Pennsylvania taxpayers? Well, so far, almost $56,000. A jury found the former Penn State assistant football coach guilty of 45 counts back in June, as Amber just said. Now, most of that, Center County officials say, was on overtime for employees and security by sheriff's deputies. Sandusky is set to be sentenced next month, so that cost could also go up. Well, according to reports, Penn State will be the site of a national child sex abuse conference. That conference is set for late October and will feature several speakers, including former middleweight boxing champion Sugar Ray Leonard, as well as Elizabeth Smart. She, of course, made national headlines after she was kidnapped at 14, and both of them have been sexually abused. We are following some breaking news that's coming out of Perry County this morning. Dispatchers say 2 people have been killed in a car crash. This happened along the 3200 block of Susquehanna Trail in Watts Township. The northbound lane is closed at this time. And of course, Chris Garrett will bring you more on the traffic update in this story as well. A man is in custody accusing of calling in countless bomb threats at the University of Pittsburgh. Police say they've arrested a 64-year-old man from Ireland. Officers say Stuart Busby faces several charges, including international extortion and wire fraud. Investigators say he emailed the bomb threats and is also accused of threatening a Pittsburgh-based attorney.
The bomb threats caused more than 100 evacuations at Pitt, greatly disrupting the personal and professional lives of students, faculty, and employees.
Now, police say he also made more than 50 threats against this school this past April. He spent time in prison in 2010 when he was convicted of sending bomb threats to Heathrow Airport. He is in custody in Ireland, but it's not yet clear when he would arrive in Pennsylvania to face these new charges.
U.S. Marshals have made an arrest in a 32-year-old unsolved murder case. They arrested 55-year-old Isramo Jr. Cruz of Harrisburg. They found him in Puerto Rico. He's charged with the 1980 murders of Nancy Patterson and her daughter Deborah of Adams County. That's when police say the suspect used Molotov cocktails to set the victim's home on fire. As the family ran out, two masked men started shooting at them. Initially, Nancy's son was charged. He was later acquitted at a trial. In 2010, state police learned that the suspect was in a relationship with the daughter, but they broke up right before those murders. Police are still trying to identify that second suspect. A 21-year-old man is in surgery this morning after Harrisburg police say he was shot 3 times. It happened just after 11:30 last night on McClay Street. Witnesses say it looked like two guys were fighting when shots rang out. The victim was shot in the buttocks and the left calf. A bullet also grazed his ankle. Police say the victim is not being cooperative. Pennsylvania voters are going to need a photo ID for this November's presidential elections.
A Commonwealth judge did uphold the state's new controversial voter ID law. It's been criticized by the ACLU as well as Democrats. Well, Fox 43's Ashley Palutis was in Harrisburg. She speaks to both sides.
After a week-long hearing in Commonwealth Court, a judge ruling to uphold Pennsylvania's voter ID law. The law, backed by Republicans, would require every person to show photo ID at the polls in the November election.
Every voter now has a responsibility to make sure that they have it, and it's a very low burden responsibility to ensure that each legally cast vote is counted.
Democrats say it's a blow to certain groups of people.
Those people that live in urban areas that use public transportation and don't have a driver's license, the majority of those being Democrats. And so this truly is a political target. And that's the sort of sad part.
Republicans believe the legislation would prevent voter fraud and make sure that every vote counts.
And that all qualified voters will have the opportunity to cast their vote, and that it will be a process that is fair, and that's the key.
The ACLU disappointed with the decision, and they plan on appealing the ruling.
That might sound strange to people who live a certain lifestyle. They've had IDs maybe since they were 16 years old. But there are people out there, the poor, the elderly, people who live in cities who don't have ID. And this bill will adversely impact them.
Members of the ACLU say they plan on filing an appeal on the decision as early as today. From there, the state Supreme Court would have to hear the case and make a decision, something both sides say they hope is made before the November election.
So there are several forms of ID that you can use to vote. A state-issued identification card, a government employee ID, a school ID, or an assisted living ID. Now, if you don't have any of those, you will need to go to a PennDOT license center to apply for a card. In most cases, you'll need your Social Security card and a birth certificate, passport, or certificate that proves you are a U.S. citizen. Getting a photo ID does cost $13.50, but you can have that fee waived by filling out a form. And in the next half hour, we're sitting down with Representative Seth Grove to talk about this new law. And this is also our topic of the day, so head over to our Facebook fan pages. Let us know what you think about it, and if you have any questions about the law as well, we'll also be asking the lawmaker.
The lines were very long Wednesday outside immigration offices around the country. It was the first day more than 1 million young illegal immigrants could submit applications allowing them to avoid deportation. The executive order from President Obama gives them a 2-year break from prosecution. The new immigration rules also let kids get work permits, that is, even if they were brought into the U.S. illegally. Many of these children already feel like they belong in this country. However, the new program led the governor of Arizona to issue an executive order that denies certain public benefits, including driver's licenses, to immigrants who qualify for the deferment. Governor Jan Brewer's order says granting such benefits to those immigrants would have, quote, significant and lasting impacts on the state's budget, healthcare system, and other taxpayer-funded benefits.
We will issue an employment authorization card to those people that apply, but they will not be entitled to a driver's license, nor will they be entitled to any public benefits in response to the public overwhelmingly voting that no public benefits would be extended to illegal aliens in the state of Arizona.
The Arizona Dream Act coalition says the governor is directly attacking young people who were brought to the U.S. at no fault of their own. The group says 3 out of 4 Arizona voters support the Dream Act, which would provide permanent residency to certain immigrants.
That's going to affect everything from meat to eggs to cereal. It's going to trickle down through everything. Milk prices are all going to go up.
Expect to pay more for corn. How an early summer drought is still affecting farmers here in PA and across the country.
And as our parents and loved ones get older, we may have to help out more than we ever thought. This morning, we're talking about how to find help if you become a caregiver.
And take a live look in